Europe stands at a turning point. A final warning has been issued, and the entire continent is watching closely. Political leaders are speaking carefully, military forces are repositioning, and tension is rising across borders. The question now is simple but serious. Is Europe heading toward a critical moment that could reshape its future? Over the past few days, statements from Eastern Europe have intensified concerns. Intelligence reports suggest increased military coordination near strategic regions. While no official declaration of escalation has been made, the signals are impossible to ignore. Diplomatic channels remain open, but pressure is building fast. At the center of this crisis is the growing friction between Russia and Western alliances. Since the conflict in Ukraine began, Europe has walked a thin line between support and direct confrontation. Economic sanctions, military aid, and strategic warnings have defined the past 2 years. But now, the tone appears sharper. NATO leaders have recently reinforced their commitment to collective defense. Troop deployments have increased in key eastern states. Air defense systems are being upgraded. Surveillance activity has intensified across multiple regions. These are defensive measures, but in geopolitics, perception matters as much as reality. Meanwhile, energy security remains a powerful factor. Europe's dependence on alternative supply routes has changed the economic landscape. Inflation, industrial slowdowns, and political debates are adding internal pressure. Some governments are calling for stronger action, others urge restraint. This is where the phrase "final warning" becomes critical. Analysts believe it may refer to a red line, a strategic boundary that, if crossed, could trigger direct consequences. Whether that red line relates to territory, weapon systems, or alliances remains unclear. But the message is unmistakable. Europe is on alert. Financial markets have reacted cautiously. Defense stocks are climbing. Energy prices fluctuate with every new headline. Investors sense instability, and uncertainty often leads to rapid shifts in capital flows. In times like these, economic tremors often precede political storms. Public opinion across Europe is divided. Some citizens demand stronger resistance. Others fear escalation. Protests have emerged in several capitals, with people questioning long-term involvement. Governments now face dual pressure, external threats, and internal debate. Military analysts warn that modern conflict no longer begins with tanks crossing borders. Cyber operations, satellite disruption, and information warfare are often the first signs. Europe has already experienced waves of cyber interference over the past year. Could this be the prelude to something larger? Diplomatic backchannels are reportedly active. European leaders are holding emergency meetings. Security councils are reviewing contingency plans. Every statement released to the public is carefully worded, signaling seriousness without panic. Another critical factor is Belarus. Its strategic positioning makes it a key player in regional security dynamics. Any movement there would instantly increase tension across neighboring NATO states. Surveillance and intelligence monitoring have intensified along that axis. Meanwhile, Ukraine continues to defend its territory with Western support. Advanced air defense systems have strengthened its resilience. However, long-range capabilities and strategic pressure remain part of the equation. Each new development shifts the balance slightly. The United States remains heavily involved. Washington has reiterated its support for European allies. Military exercises have been scheduled as a show of readiness. Yet officials stress that deterrence is the goal, not expansion. So, what exactly is this critical moment? It may not be a single event. Instead, it could be a convergence of pressures, military buildup, economic strain, political fatigue, and strategic warnings, all happening at once. History shows that such convergence often defines turning points. Some experts compare today's environment to Cold War flashpoints, when a single miscalculation could have triggered wider conflict. Communication channels are faster today, but so are weapons systems. Reaction times are shorter. Mistakes become costly within minutes. Energy infrastructure remains vulnerable. Undersea pipelines, power grids, and communication cables are now strategic assets. Protecting them has become a priority across Europe. Naval patrols have increased in sensitive waters. Airspace monitoring has also intensified. Fighter jets regularly scramble in response to unidentified aircraft approaching sensitive zones. Each encounter is reported, analyzed, and monitored globally. But there is still space for diplomacy. European leaders understand the stakes. Direct confrontation would have global consequences economically and politically. That is why most public messaging continues to emphasize deterrence and dialogue simultaneously. The real question now is, will the warning lead to de-escalation or further escalation? If red lines are respected, Europe may stabilize. If miscalculations occur, the situation could spiral quickly. Strategic patience is being tested on all sides. For now, Europe stands prepared but cautious. Governments are strengthening defense without declaring aggression. Alliances are tightening. Intelligence networks are fully active. The coming weeks will be decisive. Every move, every statement, and every military adjustment will be closely observed. Markets, citizens, and global powers are watching. Europe faces a critical moment not just militarily, but politically and economically. The decisions made now could shape the continent's future for decades. Stay alert. The situation is evolving rapidly. This may be a warning, or it may be the calm before a larger storm. Only time will reveal which path Europe chooses.